sicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage on instinct. Niggas don't think shit stink. Pink Gators, my Detroit players. Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Dead right, get their hands right, Biggie there, and I. Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls want to us, wanna do us, screw us. Who us? Yeah, Papa and Pump. Close like Starsky and Hutch, stick to clutch. Yeah, I squeeze 3 at your cherry M3. Bang every MC easily. Easily. Recently, niggas frontin' ain't saying nothing, so I just speak my peace. Keep my peace. Cubans with the Jesus peace. With my peace. Packing after who want it. This nigga flaunt it. That Brooklyn bullshit, we on it.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways.
Come on. Ha, sicker than your average. Papa twist cabbage on instinct. Niggas don't think shit stink. Pink Gators, my Detroit players. Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Dead right, get their hands right, Biggie there, and I. Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls want to us, wanna do us, screw us. Who us? Yeah, Papa and Pump. Close like Starsky and Hutch, stick to clutch. Yeah, I squeeze 3 at your cherry M3. Bang every MC easily. Easily. Recently, niggas frontin' ain't saying nothing, so I just speak my peace. Keep my peace. Cubans with the Jesus peace. With my peace. Packing after who want it. This nigga flaunt it. That Brooklyn bullshit, we on it.
Biggie, 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 can't.
What it do, 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 what it do. ESBL, we are live on none other than Two Dame Loud with none other than Dame himself. We got today Devin Turner and Angelo Roman in the building.
Yo, yo.
What's going on?
What's going on, man?
It's good, Dave.
Nothing much, man. It has been a wild off season. We had a very interesting finals and playoffs, and a lot of stuff in between that, you know, from drama to trades and the draft and all that stuff, just all coming together finally. And here we are. We just tipped off the season yesterday, last night. After our 2 preseason games yesterday morning and the night before. With all that being said, we have a lot to digest for the audience, for our fans. Let's get started. Let's dive right into it. Kind of going backwards a little bit, we had none other than Team Brazil winning the Season 8 finals, where they swept Greece. Kind of give me your input on how that went down, and give me your take on what you thought about that team last season.
Go ahead, Angel, you can go.
Oh, me? All right. I think they had a 6-man rotation going on at the end of the season, and not running a center kind of helped them out. Gave them more mobility, moving around on defense, rotations were good. And it ended up becoming a whole team effort, setting screens and ball movement for each other. I ended up getting them the dub.
Good. I agree with Angela. To me, I think we lost a few big season, and I think some teams would have panicked, but I do actually that our routine be able to just run.
Right.
I was on go the whole season. I already know. Everybody already know. I held a personal grudge against the whole Nigeria won the trade thing. So
Right.
I was doing whatever I had to do to get there.
So
Locked in.
the question that now comes into play is Brazil a fluke, or will they repeat this season?
Brazil right now is two different sides with me because, like, I want to see them do good just because I just came from there.
Right.
But at the same time, the competitiveness in me is saying if they don't do good, then it's going to be y'all were good because of me.
Okay, Angelo.
Well, they have a different dynamic on the team this coming season.
Right.
So it's going to be really up to Ant coaching and how to figure out how to use that new mix. Because they had made a lot of changes compared to last season.
Well,
Very interested in see how Adrian going to do as a starter.
Yeah, he was the sixth man last season, so I don't know how he's going to get used to the starting job. They did bring back Marcus Carter, which is got to get him back into it. And then Apollo Blaze is pretty nice, too.
they got Apollo Blaze via trade, and then they also acquired, which was a very intriguing pickup, Dior Deadlock. But Deadlock last night, he didn't do anything on the court. He was over 2 and had pretty much no stats besides, I believe, a turnover and maybe a few rebounds at best in 28 minutes of play last night. Is he the guy? Because I got a chance to sit down with him yesterday morning, and he was calling. He was pretty much making it known that Tariq Thompson, when he was in Argentina, he was pretty much Big Dookie, and that he essentially was the downfall to Argentina, which is why Dior said that he was jumping ship, and that's how he made his way to Brazil. But is it true that maybe Dior Deadlock is a Big Dookie as well?
You want me to go first? You got it.
Yeah, I mean, I just know you can't talk trash at ESPN and turn around and perform like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's also a good point. That's probably why I don't talk as much anymore. But that whole Brazil team did play terrible, so we don't know yet. Still early enough.
Actually, they played terrible. They just need Tyson Blaze to be a point guard, like a real point guard.
Yeah, he wasn't really doing that last night.
He wants to rock. He don't want to pass the ball. He wants to rock. I don't see him performing well that way.
I think the audience is having trouble posting comments. Might be able to, I'll try to fix that later on. But to kind of keep moving forward, we had a lot of intriguing talent for the season 8 draft class, where the draft picks 1 through 20 were pretty shocking. But then there were some questions as to why certain teams traded draft picks and then proceeded to go ahead and trade for the rookies. So they went and they traded their pick, but then proceeded to then double back, spin the block a little bit, and then trade for the rookies. So are teams overpaying for players?
I mean, it depends on how you value that player. I don't think that you could say that a team is overpaying a player in their opinion that player is worth it.
Mm-hmm. It really depends on the player too.
Yeah, definitely depends on the player.
Okay, so for instance, we seen a team. I believe it was Argentina. Argentina traded. I believe they traded their pick. No. Am I mixing that up? France traded their pick for 50. Okay, yeah. So France traded their pick to Argentina for $15 million, and in turn, it gave more cap space to France. France then, we know what they did with their money, but essentially, if you look at it, is Argentina overpaying for the players that they got?
Yeah,
because
a little bit too.
If you get a first round talent, top 3, with that 3rd overall pick, and you're paying them $15 million, just to sign the dotted line, and then you're also trading money away in order to acquire that talent. You're saying essentially that the rookie that you drafted is worth $30 million.
Yeah, that was a bit of a reach, if you ask me. You better hope that player upgrades.
Yeah,
quick.
I like you said, I like the whole idea of him building a young core and
Right.
grow together. But like, bro, this is a win down league. Everybody is trying to win, and
I learned that by last season.
like he still. I feel like a good team still could have been built. Like, I think the only issue with that team, the main issue, not even the only issue, the main issue with that team is there's a lot of players over there that haven't proven anything.
They're all new.
They like I don't even really couldn't really like what's I don't know.
Yeah, me and Dame were in the booth for the preseason game, and they made a lot of mistakes as a team.
They got blown out in a preseason game, and again, it's just preseason. That's not going to. You can't really determine a team's success based off of a preseason game, but it also tells you a lot that maybe the players were not purposely playing with a sense of urgency. Maybe it was the game planning that they were trying to test out to see what could work and what can't. Maybe it was a combination of the two. But I'm not going to go out on the court and I'm not going to just, oh, hey, I'm here. I got a jersey on. Look at me. You're out there to get reps. And I didn't even see from the young players that they were ready to compete, if that makes sense. The preseason. I look at it from a perspective of, my guys who've been here, whatever. I know what you can do. I've seen what you're capable of. I don't need to see you play in a preseason game. We're not going to even risk injury. I don't need to play you, right? So maybe that's a bad X on who they play, France's part. You had guys that you're beating up on rookies. We already know what you're capable of.
Right.
With France, you guys didn't get the job done last season. So what do you need to see your team or see veterans play in this preseason game for? So, I think that when you really look at the overall scale of things, that, teams have to be mindful when you're trading away for draft picks. We even have had some teams calling the league office saying, hey, can I sign an extra player? Can I go and acquire some more talent? But then when the league, then looks at, okay, here's our laundry list of what this investor has done with this roster, they've gone out and they've traded $15 million for a draft pick, or they've gone out and traded draft picks before the season starts, and then the season gets here, the offseason gets here, and now you're begging to be able to sign somebody else. I just don't think that. I think that investors have to think before doing, and if you think before doing, then I think everything will be fine.
Something I learned here.
Yeah, and you learned it firsthand. You got played in your first ever trade.
The first 2 hours in, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, and shit happens. I'm not saying that teams won't try to do things in order to make their roster better. That's what all this is about. However, be smart with your decision making. We can even look at France. You guys acquired $15 million in cap to then turn around and sign a 1-year rental of a player for $40 million. Was that a smart decision to make?
Sheesh.
You signed a player that's never been to the finals. Hell, he's never made it past the first round.
Yeah, I don't think that it was an issue paying a player $40 million. I think that you could player that he beat. Like, we all know, like, Bill Wallace is a hell of a player, but in ESBL, the production of the center don't really mean. To be honest,
centers are really not used like that. Yeah,
$40 million player. No.
The wildest part about that is he's not even starting. He's not starting. You signed a player for $40 million, and he's coming off the bench. You could have signed, another star and a depth position backup, for instance, for the same price tag. Could have got 2 players for the price of what you paid for one.
Right.
Let's continue to move on. We had a lot of trades happening this offseason. We had new players on new teams. We have new investors as well. Devin, you've taken over Nigeria. You made a lot of moves yourself. Can you explain some of the thought process behind some of the decision making this offseason?
My decision really just came to me, my identity. The identity I wanted. That's really what it was. Wasn't any personal or anything. When you watch real sports, you get a new head coach. They bring their own dad. They want their guys there. So I just felt like I need to go out get some guys that's going to do what I need to do. That's all.
What do you think about his decision making, Angelo?
I've seen. It's not the worst. It's not the weirdest of trades, but he obviously has a plan for his team of making those trades.
One thing I can say about some of the moves that I made is I have this one rookie named Paul Jimenez.
Right.
And, he gonna make me work this season, and I'm willing to take the challenge. I'm gonna have to coach a little bit different, whatever. But after all I put up to get this player, I think making him happy is worth it. So definitely gonna be coaching a little bit different this season, but I plan on still having.
Now, both of you have won championships as players on rosters. To my knowledge, I believe both of you have won a championship on the same roster.
Last season.
What do you think that needs to be done in order for players to win as a player?
Your ego needs to be thrown out the window, if you ask me. You gotta do what it takes for the team to win.
Man, you gotta have master.
Your mic is cutting out.
Yeah.
Master around you that wants to win also. Like last season playing for Brazil, everybody on the roster wanted to win. Like I didn't have to ask nobody, yo, can you upgrade this or it was already done. Everybody wanted to win, so you also got to have that supporting cast. And then I also had a cast last season that was all go for whatever I wanted to do. It was Dev's show and gave me the floor, let me do what I wanted to do. So as long as you got that supporting cast, you got people who really just tuning into the streams to see their player play. They don't care if the player is ass or not. They just want to see their player.
We got a chance to see players make a return to ESPN. Robert Ivory is back. China seems to be very, very, very impressed with what they've seen in the offseason from Robert Ivory in their own camp. Now, Dev, you got a chance to not only see Robert Ivory play, but also compete against him. Angelo, I believe Rob was before your time.
He left the season before I came.
Okay, so definitely before your time.
Yeah.
What do you think that Robert Ivory brings to China, Dev?
Toughness. Like that's gonna be scary over there. Like all Rob ever needed for was a big man, and he got that over there, an elite big man. So he's a dangerous scorer, but he's not selfish. He's going to pass the ball if he has to pass the ball. He just got a true point guard over there, a point guard with heart, who gonna go out there and put it all on the floor every single night. probably one of the best transition players that ESPL ever seen. Also, you get him that out in transition, it is over.
Right.
They got him first game too. It'll be a fun one.
They not only have Robert Ivory, but they still have Riley Ivory, the younger brother of Rob. We've seen quite a few relatives of the Ivory family come into this league and play in this league, from Nyla Ivory to
JJ was there last season.
JJ Ivory as well. Ryder Ivory has played in ESBL before. Now Riley and Rob get to step on the court at the same time, and I would consider Riley to be more of a shooting guard, a shooting type of guard, to where he wants to score the ball. He can also facilitate when needed, but they also have some very intriguing pieces over there in China to fill out the rest of their roster. So when you look at China, 1 second. What's up? You look at China, and they have a roster of Riley Ivory, Ralph Lumley, who we've seen in the showcase games that he can spot up and shoot. Okay, they have JB Pekovic, they have Rob, they have Galdem Sugar, who they just got in a trade, which was kind of surprising to me. Rizzo Henney, Michaela Odrama, Kanye Fresh, and Cornell Fresh. They have a very nice, healthy balance of young talent, some rookies and sophomores, and then still have their veteran players. Do you feel that they've done what is needed to be done in order to win the championship this season?
Yeah, I like their team the way it's balanced out because they got like you said, they got everything over there. You got Rob who can facilitate.
Right.
Then you got Galdem Sugar and what Fresh you said it was over there?
Kanye and Cornell.
Both Cornell and Kanye.
Both of them.
Yeah. Kanye can get to the rack. Cornell is shooter. They surrounded by shooters in big man in a great facilitator. I think they're gonna be good. Rob can get to the rack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they got centers over there that's capable of being double teamed. Can't double team. They got too many shooters. There.
You've had Michaela Odrama on your team, Angelo. I know that Dev said that they had an elite center, but they traded you their elite center and acquired the former rookie, now sophomore Michaela Odrama, younger sister of Michelle. What do you think that Michaela brings to this roster?
She is a force on the post. I think she's shown great signs on the defensive end. I do think there's some inconsistency still. Because there's times that she'll disappear and just stay on the block. But overall, when she gets going, she reminds me a bit of Michelle. I won't lie.
Well, they also traded you PJ Haight, who you just acquired, and I kind of want to touch the bases with PJ Haight. He was he has a lot of upside to his game. And I think we got to see flashes of that in the showcase games. What do you think PJ Haight brings to your roster to the Philippines?
Well, I needed a shooter off the bench because I did lose Kanye, and then so I just need him to he just needs to be a spot up in the corners for the kickouts, basically. And when he wants to get a bucket, he can.
Right. I
just need him to stay locked in and focused rather than. And he does have a thing about being for the team, because I know last season his little cousin Peanut Butter was a little loud. So I just need him to stay locked in, be ready when he's ready, and then he'll be all fine.
The Philippines have a very intriguing roster as well. With the roster that you all have, give us a breakdown of the decision making for you all and what you think that the Philippines is are going to do this season.
I hope we get. Honestly, I just need a team that can be more consistent on a nightly basis. Because last season, I just felt like there'd be times we just didn't know how to play basketball anymore.
Right.
And I know Damon and Gumbo doesn't play that type of way, and I know he's gonna be locked in. So I needed a guy that can lead the charge and keep this team running. Michelle's gonna be a great pick and roll option for him and a post up option. My big question for our squad right now is the improvement on Peanut Butter. I need him to take it to another level if we're going to be able to win this thing.
Peanut Butter, he wasn't that good last season. I understand he was a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot to do in order to get over the hump. Looking at his game and looking at the shortness of the season, how much of a leash does he have to be able to have room for mistakes at this point in his career? With the
mistakes-wise, I'd say halfway through the season. He's got until the time we have to decide on options.
Right.
And then I'll go from there. But right now, seeing from him, his defense, I like his defense. I really do. It's just, I don't know what he does on offense sometimes when he's out there. It just confuses me sometimes.
We're here as we move along. We got a chance to see players return, players be traded. The rosters look significantly different. And we can kind of turn the tables over to the United Kingdom, the team who just blew out Team USA yesterday in a very, I would say, a surprising game to say the most, considering that USA was one of the top teams last season. Their roster is made up of Anthony Roman, Ant Thomas, Sarah Counterman, Johnny Boss, and Tommy Campbell. These are all veteran players. Do you feel that UK is in a win now situation, given that at this point they only have 15 mil to sign one player if they wanted to, but they there's no more players for them to sign. So they're going out with a roster of 6 players. Do they have? I mean, to me, it looks like that they don't have room for injuries, even. Do you feel like these veteran players are on this roster to win a championship, or do you feel like this is a reflection of them waiting too long this offseason to create this roster?
It's a little bit of both.
Give me 1 second, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a little bit of both, if you ask me. I think Tommy underestimated how much cap space he really had to play with.
Right.
So, other than that, but the people he did pick up from the first game, they looked well playing together. Excuse Me was a great facilitator last night. Anthony Roman just held it down in the paint with Sarah. And then Ant Thomas doesn't have to force as many shots as I've heard he used to do back then.
Right.
And Johnny Boss off the bench, well, they don't really have a choice, so it works out. But you're right about the injury part. And one injury happens, this team might be screwed over.
How do you feel about last night's game, though, when they pretty much steamrolled Team USA?
I wanted UK. I had UK winning, but not in that fashion. I do believe USA will have a better game plan, whoever they play next. But that first game last night threw me off guard. I was expecting a dogfight, and we ended up just running them out the gym.
How you feel about their game last night, Dev?
I feel like last night it was a great game. Like you said, nobody didn't expect it. I would have to probably see a couple more games from UK, but if you come out how they played last night, if the ball is just going to go Tommy and Johnny, because like they won that game.
Right.
As they were there, they helped, but they won that game. If that's where the ball is going to go all the time, they're going to have to figure out how to get the rest of their players involved.
Let's kind of divvy our attention a little bit, turn it over to the final game of last night, where Greece got a chance to play against Brazil for, I want to say, the fifth time in the past 2 seasons. One, is this a rivalry? And then 2, Greece finally got a chance to beat Brazil after losing in the regular season and then getting swept by Brazil in the finals and then losing to the Brazil again in the preseason. They finally got their number last night where they blew them out of the water, and it wasn't even close. Is Greece showing signs of a championship contender at this point, even with the roster that they have now? Or do you feel that Brazil is probably just kind of starting off slow?
I would like to believe.
No, go ahead.
I would like to believe that Brazil just starting off slow.
Yeah, I was about to say that too, because the same thing happened last season when they lost to USA by 20 opening night. So it's really up to what they got to do.
That's what it was, but at the same time, though, Greece gonna be a problem, especially if Powers keep playing like that.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Well, they also acquired Farrell McDyess, and I believe McDyess is one of the top defenders in the league. And right there is already where they're showing a little bit. And they're between this roster and last season's roster, where they made the finals. They made the finals, and he had 3 top-tier shooting guards, so to speak, in Jacoby, Abio Norville, and Deshaun Powers. And that's how they got there to the finals. But they had trouble from Eddie Reed with his shooting, and EJ Bailey didn't show up. He then later on retired as well. But Deontay Triller decided to stick around this off season. I think that they looked very impressive last night, to say the least. Brazil, on the other hand, they're missing a lot of defense. And that's going to be their biggest downfall, is their lack of defense on that roster. I believe that teams do need defenders. You just need guys that can go out there and do the dirty work and get shit done, essentially. But if you're not willing to go out there and do that, then you put yourself in this position to where you have to outscore a team in order to beat them. And if they don't have the scores to do so, with Adrian Fletcher constantly driving to the rim, whatever, teams can pretty much pick up on that. And if they start adapting to that, I don't see Brazil winning 5 games this season.
You always need a glue guy defender on the team.
Right.
And Brazil showed that. And look at the difference with UK from last season and this season, at least for 1 game. It makes a whole difference for a whole squad. I've always valued those type of players too.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Let's swing over to another country, Hungary. An odd roster, to say the least. But they're always an odd roster. They went out and acquired some talent. They got a rookie in Aurelio Romano at the guard spot. They acquired James Elliott at the point guard spot. They got Karan Baycoat at the guard spot. Justin Time at the guard spot, and their only bigs consist of AJ Thomas, Stephon Brown, and and Thabo Ramos. There are a lot of guards on this team. I I don't know what they plan on doing with all these guards. I've never seen anything like this before. What do you think about this team? This team's roster. Let's just go there.
A lot of questions to ask. I don't even know where to start. All these guards on one team. The bigs. There's only like 3 of them, so one of them gets hurt.
Right.
Have fun.
Dev?
Can any of those guards play the small forward? That's already a bad sign, isn't it?
I mean, they have Xavier Thomas as a small forward. I guess you could flex AJ Thomas, maybe.
And who are their guards? Guards were?
Karan, Justin, James Elliott, and Aurelio Ricky.
I
You
mean,
got dumb thinking over there.
the biggest name out of the names you just said will be who?
Who?
Justin Thomas.
I would say that the biggest name out of those guards you just named would be Justin.
Justin Time, yeah. I agree.
He would be the biggest name. I don't know. That is a lot of guards. I don't know how they're going to do that.
The roster is it's kind of teetering on that, sink or swim roster. I think what?
That coach better figure it out.
Yeah.
That it's going to come down to the running of that team is going to come down to ego. Because I'm going to keep it out of the names that you just named. If anybody's starting, it should be Tom and Karan. But I got a feeling that James Elliott is going to end up starting, and that's an ego decision.
Right.
I ain't the coach. Who knows? You better call Austin for the box scores, goddammit.
Let's swing over to Argentina. This roster is very young. They have Polar Bear, the sophomore Jonathan Breeze, sophomore Bam and Gumbo, rookie Grizzly Bear, sophomore Raekwon Campbell, veteran Tariq Thompson, rookie Kenny Castle, rookie Truth Be Told.
Jesus.
And they got blown the hell out in the playoffs. What's our take on this roster?
I'm surprised
No,
you ain't
Who's that?
no, go ahead, Doug. Go ahead, Doug.
team from him. Be honest with you. You normally take teams from people and shit like that.
I know I lost. I know I
just-
got fired for something like that.
Hey,
I got fired for something like that. You ain't wrong.
I don't know. I don't know.
We asked Jason about this too. He was like, "I got a bunch of guys that can upgrade." But
It's a lot of stacked teams this season.
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
It's crazy how we went into the all season and talk about some no super teams. Now we have 9 super teams. For real, if you want to be honest, we got 9 super teams. Argentina the only team that's left out.
I mean that's the only way to do it. Sometimes,
I mean, they could go and upgrade and surprise all of us, but right now on paper, they look very suspect, to say the least.
And from experience, I know you got guys and like those self players going to upgrade, but self players can also be very selfish. I don't know, man. I can't even. I don't see them winning the game.
Yeah, I have that team going.
I see it too. 0-9.
Going 0-9 this season. Myself, to be honest, I don't see them winning the game. Let's go over to France. They have small forward, sophomore Crucio Jones, sophomore Pierre Sabal, veteran Tyler Jones, veteran Bill Wallace. I want to say he's Brandon Romero, sophomore, Kobe Freeman, veteran, and Andre Romano, veteran. How do y'all feel about this roster? They acquired a lot of cap. Did not use it all, but went out swinging for the fences. And some would say that they have a super team as well.
I like Frank. I liked them last year. Nobody didn't expect France to do what they did last season, and they still had a good season. I feel like this season, I feel like going into the offseason, they didn't really have a plan. It was just let's get who's best available.
Yeah,
I feel like
considering the amount of cap they had,
That's
if you ask me, considering the amount of cap they had, they kind of underachieved on free agency. But that's my opinion.
I would agree. I think that if I had that much cap space to work with,
we're talking about super teams. That should
be the goddamn Avengers over there. That was
and I could pretty much outbet anybody, for contract wise. I think I'm going, swinging for the fences. I'm going to take every chance I can get, per round in free agency, and we're just going to go out there and do the damn thing. Even if the roster wasn't the deepest, you still had money to get some very, very talented players. I think Tyler Jones is while he's a good shooting guard, he's a very mid-level player. I'm just calling it how it is. I've been hearing reports that, hey, he's the face of their franchise. The player's mid. I haven't seen him do anything spectacular yet. What has he done? He missed the playoffs last season.
He's a pass era player, isn't
he?
Yeah, pass era.
How long he got left?
I think he got here the same time Jason Breeze did? So, 3 seasons?
No, the season before it did.
He was here before.
I think he was in my class. Oh,
so he might have just 2 seasons left.
Yeah.
To get it done. And I don't see them doing that this season. So then you're in your last season next season.
Yeah, it's not a bad roster, but considering the amount of cap he had, it didn't work out.
Then you go out and sign a bench player to $40 million.
I mean, the good thing about
what is that? Your mic's cutting up.
I said the good thing about that is at least you still got the cap at the end of the season.
True. They'll definitely still have, and that's the thing. They'll have more cap, I believe, than most teams in the.
They'll still do. They still will.
Yeah. Especially if they don't pick up certain options and they allow certain players to walk. In which, if the team, if by that point in the season the team is underperforming, I'm not going to go make a bunch of trades to lock myself into these long-term contracts. Right. I'll just let y'all asses walk, and just call and call it how it is. If we're not making the playoffs, shit, I don't know if they still have their draft pick or not for next season, but I still have money to play with in free agency.
Who's the coach in France now? Abio?
Yes.
It's not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice, but what has Abio done, coaching wise?
Yeah. He's been gone for 2 seasons, so let's see.
He ain't been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The game has changed. I think that teams think that they can just go out and shoot all day long. The problem is you can't. You just can't. You have to have a plan in place. You can't go out trying to play like everybody. You can't go out and try to do the same shit that you were doing somewhere else and do it here. That's not how it's going to work. If you don't have your own identity, if you don't have a skill set or a way to come to the game, you're in for a very rude awakening. I'm going to put this out here. This is not just a shooting league. That's just food for thought. You're not going to get anybody off of just shooting threes. You have to do something else. You have to get into the paint. You have to play fucking defense.
Damn, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go take care of something real quick.
You have to play defense, and if you don't, you're gonna be out there looking silly, and you're gonna have to outscore teams to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way around it. I think that we are in for a season of a lot of uncertainty. I think that this is going to be for the first time ever, we're going to see a new champion for once. To where the players that we've seen in the finals, I don't think that we'll see those same players in the finals. I think that we see a changing of the guard this season. I think that there's players out there that have changed their game and adapted to the league and what works and what doesn't. And I think there's some teams who we expect to win will win. But what do I always say? What you do in the regular season doesn't matter.
Right.
You got to make the playoffs. Once you make the playoffs, it's a whole brand new season. Once you make the playoffs, it is a brand new season. Everybody at that point is starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people who say, "Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it." And then they go in there and they run the same shit that they were running during the regular season. And guess what? You can get your teeth punched in. You're going to get swept. And you're going to be on the outside looking in and then reevaluating your roster in the offseason yet again. And a team like Team USA, y'all have the opportunity to evaluate your roster. You have the opportunity to go and grab some very talented players just off of principle, off of who not only runs the team, but also look at what the team did last season. They overachieved. But you went and got a guy like DeMar Shuttlesworth, an undrafted rookie, and that is the first player that you signed in free agency. And they did it banking off of his words to the media that he was the best small forward in this draft class, which makes no sense because you didn't get drafted. I guess nobody else thought that DeMar Shuttlesworth was worth picking, right? But he's the first player signed. He was signed before any of the superstar players. Think about that for a second. We have to really start to come to a realization with some of these teams that maybe some teams just aren't ready to win. Maybe some investors are just meant to be regular season investors. Maybe some players, while they might not care, they're just mid. The Tyler Joneses, the Sarah Countermans, the DeMar Shuttlesworths, the Peanut Butters. All I'm gonna say is, some of y'all better start trading like today. There's no reason why a team has 3, 4, 5 guards and no other players on the team besides a couple of bigs. And let's be honest, one of those bigs, he probably shouldn't even still be on the roster. Stephon Brown. What has he done? Somebody tell me something, please. Why was James Elliott even acquired? He's probably Angela, what draft class were you in?
Season 7, I believe, or 6.
Season 6, right? Maybe.
Is he in the same one as me?
I believe so.
Okay.
James Elliott is the bust of whatever draft class that he was in.
It was picked. I think it was picked before me too.
He's the bust. I seen a power forward go out there yesterday, Jason Breeze, and play like a complete ass. He played like he didn't know what he was doing on the court. He played like he was trying to be somebody else that he's not. Then we seen little Little Breeze go out there on the court during the preseason game, completely funk it up. I don't understand how an entire family of Bears can get drafted one after the fucking other, and they all underperform. I guess Goldilocks just wasn't ready to show up, huh? I don't get it.
It's Goldilocks.
Let's not harp on Hungry too much for having all these damn guards. Team USA, they went and got Dime Hardaway. They went and got, or they already had Trey Hardaway. Then they went and got Bright McNair. What do you need all these guards for? Guess what all three of those guards have in common? They all facilitate. Well, there's not enough minutes for all of them to even touch the floor. Even if they touch the floor, how effective to the game are they?
Right.
If it was up to me, team like Greece, who doesn't have a point guard, because they went and traded their point guard for whatever godforsaken reason, and got a center. I'd probably be going after Bright McNair. Why? Well, Team USA just got blown out. They probably don't feel like the pieces that they got even really work, if we're being real. Maybe they want to see themselves get blown out again and test the waters after that. Who knows? I look at a team like Brazil. You just won a damn championship. And then you went out and signed a head coach, last name Fletcher. When the hell has Don Fletcher coached in here? Oh, we think that because Mr. Fletcher dropped 69 points in the finals and lost, that he can coach? Think about that for a second. Think about it. This is your guy. And Brazil seems to have this constant pattern of hiring terrible coaches. And I'm not talking about Devin Turner either. But Devin Turner's gone now. He's in Nigeria. You obviously didn't do enough to keep him. Because if it was up to me and we just won a championship, oh no, how much you need to not go over there? How much can we pay you? You got to have a price tag, right? Everybody has a price. I'm just saying, Don Fletcher cannot coach. I thought we all knew that. Team USA might need to hire a coach. Greece, not too bad. I seen, who was that? Was that Tribal Chief that got posterized like that midair?
Yeah.
He needs to go to the fucking weight room. You are all of 7'4", 295 goddamn pounds, and you falling like that. Like a damn iron board. Folding up. To a 6'4" shooting guard. You got 12 inches of a height difference in him. And didn't think to put your long ass arm up? I don't think that there's a team right now that can stop China. I haven't even seen them play. But if we're talking about roster building, only a handful of teams really did a good job at that. France, they did a shitty ass job at roster building. Hungary did a shitty ass job at roster building. Team USA did a shitty ass job at roster building. Now guess what? The phones are going to be ringing off the hook. Why? Somebody has got to go. You're going to start seeing guards being flipped for bigs. Crazy, right? Some of these guards used to be starting caliber point guards, shooting guards. Now they're coming off the bench, 2 other players. Make it make sense to me. Tyler Jones is talking about proving me wrong. What's that song, Dev? You are old enough to know it. That Eddie Murphy was singing. What have you done for me lately?
Right. That's Janet Jackson.
That's Eddie Murphy, man.
Janet Jackson.
That's Eddie Murphy.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Anyway, fucking Tyler Jones, what have you done for me lately? We got go ahead.
He said that on that stand-up show. But
He did.
Janet Jackson.
That's where I got it from. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it comes to a point, and you have to kind of start looking around the room. Y'all got outsmarted by Fresh to the point where several teams gave him all of their first round picks last season.
That is the fastest talker. Y'all better watch
Yes.
Fresh. Y'all better
Yes.
fucking watch Fresh.
That man will come to you and have you thinking that the tap water that he is selling you has the best pH in it possible. Because I don't know what the hell he's DMing y'all or messaging y'all, or when y'all are on these voice calls, whatever the case may be. I don't know what the hell he's saying. He is a smooth fucking criminal. I'll tell you that. Man, the crazy part was he didn't even give up his own players. He unnecessarily had 5 first-round picks. He didn't even. I'm gonna call it
He
how
traded half of them.
he didn't have to even trade Michelle O'Drama. He obviously knows something that we don't. The man's been to the finals, the past 2 seasons?
2 out of 3. Yeah.
He's right there. He just needed a push. And those that know, they know. He's been trying to get Robert Ory for a very long time.
Yep.
And now he has him. 1 season to make it work. 1 season to get it done. And that's all it takes. So instead of sitting on your roster and saying, "Oh, well, you know what? I made all the trades and free agency moves, signings that I felt were necessary for the offseason." Look at your roster again, reevaluate again. Then after you've looked at it, then go look at it again. If there isn't a trade today, even one, what you're telling me and what you're telling the rest of the league is that you're comfortable with being mediocre, because a lot of you have mediocre rosters. A lot of you have mediocre ass players. A lot of you players are mediocre. Why? You don't want to go upgrade. You think that you're fine. Well, if you're fine with being mid or being trash, so be it. But you'll never win here.
Nope.
So think about that. Any advice that you will have to give to the people, Angelo?
Always reevaluate before you do a trade. If you have a GM, you can talk to them about it, but always double check these trades.
Hold on. Fresh wants to come up.
Sure.
Hold on 1 second. The commissioner's coming up here. I think he has something to say. And don't by any means don't get sad. All right. Now's not the time to get sad. Now's not the time to beat yourself up. some of you investors might really want to start looking around your locker rooms, and if you have players that are not upgrading, you might want to send them on their way. If you got people that are just half-assing it, you might want to send them on their way. Sarah? DJ? Jason Breeze?
And you gotta stop. I gotta stop going after players by name, by a person name too. Because now it's starting to be important like that. Some of these people only gonna upgrade the players that they want to upgrade. They're not upgrading every player just because their last name is known.
Right. The commissioner is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
He got everything that I did.
What'd you do?
Remember this? What you told me to do with the swipe down thing?
Oh yeah.
We can't hear you.
You gotta swipe the joint down from the top right. Hit the little triangle with the circle around it.
Oh, he looked.
He said, Tribal Chief is in the weight room. Don't you worry. Man needs to put his hands up when blocking the rim.
How many 7-4 players we got? 7-4 centers we got out there?
Quite a few.
I got one. I got one too.
1, 2, I want to say about at least 5 or 6. Only a handful of them are actually good, though. Kenny Castle, you need to get into the weight room, man.
Oh yeah, he was looking bad too.
You don't look like that you are ready. Rizzo.
That probably was the buddy pickup.
Huh?
That probably was a buddy pickup.
Who, Castle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was definitely a buddy.
Yeah, that's his homie. That's his homie. So yeah.
That's you ain't winning. That.
Yeah, buddy ball is not going to win you a championship. Sorry. Rizzo. First name rhymes with Lizzo. Got to get into that weight room, man. You were too damn skinny. Like Rizzo.
Prime example. It took for me to team up with somebody I said I'll never work with to win a chip.
Yeah.
I was totally against being on the Ant team, working with
I remember
everything.
I remember the first thing you said when he spoke in the locker room. I was like, oh boy, here we go again. Then next thing I know, I'm cool. I'm just like, huh.
Because I mean, down to like I said, Ant want to win. I know he want to win. That's all I want to do. So the rest of this was pointless.
Abio said, "Who's our early vote on Rookie of the Year off of what we've seen so far?"
Only seen Davey.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to be a rookie off of those teams.
Is there a rookie on either of those teams?
Yeah, it's a couple. You got Black Bear.
So I'm gonna wait till I see all the rookies play first before I say anything.
Let me see. I see who played yesterday on Team USA. So DeMar Shuttlesworth is an option. Bright McNair is an option. Panda Bear is an option. Jackson Blaze, Black Bear.
Hey, Jackson. Okay.
He's all right. He wasn't used yesterday though.
Oh, Avio said he had meant the showcases as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Okay. Well.
I mean, it was a lot of time out there. Rookies.
Yeah, I gotta wait till everyone plays first before I say something.
Yeah, a lot. It's too much talent out there, and it depends on how they're gonna be used also.
Yeah.
Like I like both of McNairs. I like both of them. I mean, y'all was real big on PJ. I wasn't really big on PJ.
On PJ8?
Yeah, to me he's sloppy. He
I
don't have
like
me,
PJ.
game.
Ooh. The one rookie I did really like was Anthony Simmons.
Yeah.
I really messed with the Simmons game. If he upgrades himself and he gets, into the lab, that can be a very, very nice player for quite some time in ESPL. Extremely nice. Anthony Simmons, from what I believed, could have even gone number one. Could have even gone number 1 or number 2. He fell to number 3, of course, but I definitely felt that he improved his game throughout the entirety of the showcase.
No, he did. He ran number 2.
Oh, he did go number 2. My fault. Yeah, so he went exactly right where he needed to go. Early McNair slipped way too low. Like before Castle was picked, he early should have went that route or that pick, or even before that. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of teams trading all of the first round picks, especially before knowing the draft class.
Right.
Yo.
What up, Fresh?
What up?
Not much, man.
I'm over here watching Blaze and the Super Machines.
You watching who?
What's that show on Nickelodeon? Blaze with the red truck with the fire on it. What's up?
By the rookie, motherfucking China on defense. They gonna get that ball out the goddamn sugar in transition. There's gonna be a lot of on your head tops out there.
Nah. I saw y'all was saying something about Fresh be working the people in the trades. I be feeling like all the trades is fair. Nah, look, you gonna win some and you gonna lose some,
right?
But I mean, I always think about. I'm probably like maybe thinking a step ahead. Like for example, with the trade with Angelo, like. I know Angelo like Michelle O'Drama. Like, and my thing is this. It was also like a challenge trade for me because I was like, well, shit, it'll just give me a challenge of like building up Michaela Player because Michaela Player really wasn't like that player wasn't neglected per se, but I had no idea that the player wasn't at 85 overall yet. Right. I was talking to Dame about that because he like he said, when he make the players, he just make them and move on to the next one, So no one really knew that player wasn't at where that player should have been. So I was like, man, shit, let me help somebody out. I'll just move. I'll work on Michaela. I'll just put some attention on Michaela or whatever. So, and then the power. I think what was it? Truth be told, and PJ Hate. And I knew, and I kind of figured, Angelo be messing with DJ a little bit, but they kind of boys, so I was like, he probably will like having 2 DJ players on the team. So that's what I was thinking when I approached him, because I approached him with the trade, and it was would save me like $10 million cap because Michelle was at the max already.
He did hit me up with that trade,
so that's why I did that one. And the other ones, it's just people are gonna be desperate for cap,
right?
So if you tell somebody, look, I'll give you 10 million for a first, more than likely they're gonna do that joint.
Yeah, to be honest, I was surprised that so much cap went around, period.
Even after we changed to CP, the cap was still being traded. Like, people was like right now, if you look at the teams with the most cap, shit, it might be me and DJ or because shit, I think I came up on like 25 cap points.
Right.
Just in the off season. But nah, man, I don't know the teams. Yeah, I was just listening to y'all earlier. Like the teams, man, like, what? Some people did probably feel like, damn, I messed up because now you run around with 6-man rosters, 7-man rosters. But shit, look at UK. I think they got 6 players.
Right.
but they got 6 good players. So who knows if that's a little secret out there that if you run out there with 6 99s, you might be able to get the job done because the game is just gonna mix and match those 6 players that you got. And I was telling Dime about this yesterday. UK, man, UK just a team, bro. Like I was afraid of UK last season. So when the playoffs started and we thought we was gonna play Hungary,
right?
Based on the records, but then when it came out that we had UK, I was like, damn, I don't know what to do because Tommy and Johnny together, that's a crazy duo, bro. Like underrated duo in my opinion.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Yeah, they underrated. So like to get Sarah, who got something to prove, who probably gonna do some stuff to that player, and Ann Thomas, you know, like yo, that's gonna be a real scary team to play. And hey, while we here, man, while the whole league watching, hey, Philippines, man, I'm in y'all locker room too. So
Hey,
yo, I was in the locker room. I'm like, yo, wait, what's going on? Like this. Here's the thing, though. I ain't gonna take nothing y'all said and tweak my game plan because my shit already turned in. Hey, say what's up. But like, I'm not gonna tweak it. Say hi. You don't want to? You eating. So wait till you finish eating. But no, look. I was looking at the thing. I was like, why are they talking about? And he got Mikey. Listen, let me tell you something right now. Mikey is your GM, but don't listen to shit he tell you. Unless it's something to do with a trade or something. Because him telling you,
I don't listen
Rob
to anything Mikey says.
he told you Rob Ivory wasn't good. He was like, oh yeah, I played against Rob. I've been playing against Rob, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wait, I'm like, why he telling Angelo that Rob ain't a good player?
yeah, that's wild.
And he was like, don't worry about it because Fresh can't coach. But I'm like, bro, my teams, I coach these teams, bro. They go, like y'all was saying earlier, I've been to the finals a couple times, conference finals a couple times. Like,
right.
I you know what it is? I think what you need,
That's
you just
Fresh.
Because I know you're in the locker room.
Ain't the New York Empire.
yeah.
Tell him.
Look, man, that should be, I don't know. Like, I feel like some people just be talking, or they just they bias toward, like, all right, you understand, some people just got biased towards people, so they gonna say crazy stuff, but it ain't really true. You know, like, I'm gonna say this team, if I say Brazil suck, I'm just saying that because I'm being biased toward the team. Right. That's not a team that sucks. But one thing, and one last thing, earlier I was talking about Dior Deadlock. Here's my thing. I think it takes a really, really savvy coach to get power forwards involved. Like, if you go after a power forward because they 99 overall, you just doing that for cosmetic purposes if you don't know how to fucking coach. Because I think people just feel like, all right, if I got a 99, a 97, I just feel complete with my roster. But you know in your heart, you don't utilize your fucking power forwards ever. So why would you go get a 99 overall power forward when you could probably plug in a 85 who plays defense? Because that's the only thing you need your power forward for on most of these rosters is to stop these driving, damn slashing guards or whatever. Because ain't no power forward really putting in a lot of work like that to where you need a 99 to go out there and battle another 99. Right. And if you look around the league, it ain't that many 99 power forwards. And if there are, their stats is going to be all rebounds and blocks and probably 2.5 points average a game.
Peanut butter minus the rebounds and blocks.
Yeah, and all Peanut Butter do is talk about, oh, look, I play defense on this person. He don't never say I went out there and scored 10. He said I had 4 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks. So, like, the thing with Brazil is like, yeah, you kind of like took away something from your offense by getting Deadlock, right? And watching them, you cannot have both your guards slashing all game, right? Who would they kick it out to if they was doubled in the paint when they drove? When they drive, like I've been simming with my team, and I think Dev alluded to it earlier. Yo, if somebody drive to the basket and the team drop down, You know who they can kick that shit out to? Pekovic, Lumley,
That's what I said.
Riley Ivory, Cornell Fresh, Kanye Fresh. I was watching the sim. I'm like, yo, that shit probably gonna be crazy because like I ain't never really because my whole identity been like Fresh need a couple shooters on the team. Because like if you look at it last year, it was Riley Ivory. I had Kyrie Prince. That when you see what you got now versus that, you like I ain't really. That's like having a fine ass girl now, and you had a fat girl last year, but you loved her still, you know. But now you got the fine girl. You like, oh shit, I don't even fool with the fat joint no more because I did love her though, but I got some real shit now. So Kyrie was cool, but shit, I'd rather have her kick it out to a Riley Ivory or a Kanye Fresh. You know, that's who you'd rather. I mean, no shade to Kyrie, but that's what I was working with last year, and I had Pharaoh McDyess. But like y'all said, and like that's a big ass pickup for Greece.
It is, yeah.
Because Greg know what he doing too, right? Well, Pharaoh, I didn't really know because I ran certain playbooks that utilized the guards. So Pharaoh was really just eating off of like putbacks and shit like that. He'd come off a couple screens or whatever, but the way Greg using them looked like he a focal part of that team. So I didn't hear y'all talk about Nigeria a lot, but like yeah, I really think like the top teams so far going into the season will be like Greece. If I had to do like a top 4, because it's 10 teams, I do a top 5. I will put Greece, Nigeria, Philippines. I'll go China. These ain't in no order though. And then shit, man. After watching the game yesterday, I'm gonna throw UK in there. But I do think Brazil got some tricks up their sleeve. And it wasn't Don that was coaching Don in 69. It was Jalen. So I don't know if Ant forgot that and thought he was getting that person that was coaching that player to be that good. But the last thing I heard of Don coaching, he was giving out playbooks to people. So that ain't a good memory to have as a coach. That's part of a whole bunch of shit because then he had, man, you know what's funny though? He had to tell on, or the Sarah had to, who told on who that time?
Don told on Sarah.
Oh yeah, it was just like damn. So now you got all this drama you had. They was giving out, and then Jameer went and used the book, huh? Man, I used to always call him Jammer the Scammer, boy.
Yeah, that was hell. That was hell.
Huh?
Jameer was commissioner at the time, wasn't he?
He was a deputy.
Still, shit, you knew what was going on.
That's why he got hit hard. Cause like, bro, you hear everybody complaining and everybody gets suspended over the shit, then you gonna submit the game plan with the book in it. Then he came back a few weeks later and had Rob Tendos on his player. Oh, and what he say?
That's what they were doing?
I was just randomly downloading players offline, and I guess that player had Rob Tendos. Come on, bro. You got your team.
Wait, that's what Jameer said?
Bro,
what he say? He was just downloading random players and like and trying a Tendos out on his player. But it's like they miraculously look like Robs, and you got Rob on your team. But look, if you were able to get them Rob Tendos on fucking, was it Jayceon or was it Jameer?
Jayceon.
That shit would have been crazy, bro. Because he was 6'7", and he would have had Rob Tendos on him. I don't know. He probably been, and he already had. Didn't he have Rob on the team too? Yeah, that shit would have been scary, bro. But like that's like what you were saying. What some of y'all said earlier. People gonna do whatever they got to do to win in this shit. Like I told Dame last night when he said he was talking about the Tendos. I was like, well, shit. If they in the store, motherfuckers gonna buy them, right? And if they ain't no rule on saying, hey, you can't do this and that, people are just gonna go and do what they feel is what they need to win. Right. And we knew when you get a team with Self and Greg on it, because they just boys like that, they're gonna make that joint. They're gonna make it work. They're gonna do what they gotta do to make it work. You want more? I'm gonna get it. Give me 1 minute. But yeah, they gonna make it work. But like I feel you too, because it's like, damn, I don't want the league to all be playing the same.
Yeah.
You know? Like every game, you know, this team gonna have this team gonna have that. But like, if you look at the real NBA, like we always say, you can watch Golden State all you want. You ain't finna be able to do that shit though. You can't just say, "Hey, ooh, Golden State just did this. Hey, let's do what Golden State just did next game."
Right.
So dumb. So dumb.
It ain't gonna work. You ain't got the players to do it.
I was about to say you gotta have the players. That's why I don't understand too. Like if you know, like we put out pointers and all that, if you know you're not about to upgrade your player, don't give your player no Steph Tendos, no player you know do wild shit that you can't hurt because you're not gonna upgrade that player. If you know you're not upgrading your player, a role player it is for you.
Right. Yeah, you ain't got no players on your team that want to upgrade. Like, or don't be looking for your investor to always upgrade you, because now the investor ain't gonna do it. You feel me? Like, I'm not gonna take no
name a
dude
person
75 and just boost him up, because especially if you're not active, you ain't doing them. But I think like the league starting off is good. The games all had good numbers last night. So, like, I feel like everything is moving like it's supposed to, man. But
I think commentators also play a factor, too.
Yeah. Having people talk about the game,
A big
and interact with the crowd that's watching, keep people on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, we humans. Most people don't want to sit there for an hour or so and just watch that shit. But if you make it entertaining, you're going to keep more people on or whatever. Especially people who ain't got a player playing, right? I think I'm gonna use some of the EP that I have and start like a sports book with it. Like that'll be the house money.
Who's tracking the
EP? We can do like over under on the parlays and shit like that. Cause go ahead.
I said I was saying that a couple weeks ago. I had somebody that's gonna pay attention.
Yeah, shit. You take that. Look, you want to bet 5 or 10 EP for the on the 2 games for the day. You want to do a parlay. These 2 teams gonna win. You know, you get paid out. We just gotta be consistent with it, because like I don't see nobody doing that in the league. I don't in other leagues. I don't see people doing stuff like that. So right, you can take that and make it like a little sports book. And the pot will be the league. I have a pot, you know, that pays out and takes in your EP when you lose. And like oh, what's that? Oh, you got a cat too? Damn, man, I wanted to get a cat, but then y'all be scaring me with them damn cats. Then you tell me the cat be standing on your laptop and you can't get on it because they in charge?
All the time.
For real?
All the time.
How you get the cat off?
There's ways to do it. Really?
Yeah, bro, you be like standing on a laptop like you ain't getting
What you mean by that?
I'm not. What?
There's ways to do it.
That sounds freaky, boy.
Take it how you want. Take it how you want.
All right. Nah, because I think I told my wife, I said, man, look, somebody in the group just said that one time their cat was standing on their laptop because I guess the cat was like, no more laptop for you or something. Well, how many you got?
Just one.
I think Dime got a cat too. Or he had one. But he said he had to put I think he had to put the cat down, but like they charged him a lot of money just to put the cat down. Like $1,100.
That's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what do you want?
That much money for that?
Hold on, I gotta mute myself.
He finna tell a cat he love him, so you put it on.
I'm crying, son.
Oh shit! I'm gonna give you something later. Mute that shit on mute, dude.
Oh my God!
Oh, you back?
No,
You back now.
it's so random with it too. Man, I hear everything you be saying, dog.
No, that shit made me cry a little bit. Okay.
No, but I think Dame set me up with playing Flash first. So
Yeah, he be doing that on purpose, huh? Making them rosters. Nah, that's those dramas. Those dramas making their debut. They never played together before.
Walker Michelle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was on USA last season. So,
He was on USA. We almost had him on the team, but we couldn't get the trade done. Yeah, I'm excited to see them two playing together. Plus, like I said, man, y'all got shit. Y'all got T. Weary and Dame Ngumbo. Like, yeah, then y'all shit with Barack, Angelo, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, only weak part, and I mean, it's probably been beat to death with a hammer is Peanut Butter at the 4. But that shit is a beautiful team, top to bottom.
I could find a way. I'll find a way.
Yeah.
I think Small's not bad either.
Oh yeah, Small. Oh yeah. Small's definitely probably come out.
That's one of the 6-7 point players in the league.
Oh yeah, they just be blocking shit out of nowhere, huh?
If they want to jump, yeah.
I got one too. I got a 7. He's 7'3" though. I got Rizzo Henny.
Oh, you got Riz? Yeah.
So I mean, they could battle down there too. So shit, man, it's gonna be exciting. I wish them shits came on today. But give me some.
What the second game tomorrow, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays.
Okay.
Yeah, but now I just want to make a quick guest cameo, man. I'm babysitting right now. But yeah, good show, man. I was watching the whole joint, man. Keep doing this one. This one gonna be good.
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up though.
All right.
Angelo out there playing with cats now, so you know.
Yeah. Let me mute it.
I love you so much.
Hold on.
All right, listen. That cat was like, "You better say I love you now. I'm gonna scratch your ass." You like,
right.
Put it on mute. I love you. All right, let's go. Y'all be good, man. Shout out to the league. Let's get it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been real, but you know the deal. Damon is signing out. Whew. Game day tomorrow. Tomorrow's games that are set and underway. We will be having Argentina take on Nigeria and then China taking on the Philippines. Both of those games should be good, but a primetime game, China versus Philippines. Make sure you are there. Do not miss it. Games are at 7 p.m. For the first game and 9 p.m. for the second game. That's pretty much it. That wraps up the Two Dame Loud podcast, episode 2. I'm Damon Dame. I'm signing off. Peace.
Y'all know his name? Hey, yo, Mac, ladies and gentlemen, C5. Oh! Wing time. Oh! Yeah. Zone. Let me see your shoulders work. I mean, I don't know what y'all came here to do, but if you ain't got a lighter, what the fuck you smoking for? We hot.
What the fuck though? Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Wow, get the fuck though. I don't bluff, bro. Aiming at your head like a buffalo. You a roughneck, I'm a cutthroat. You a tough guy. That's enough jokes. Then the sun died. The night is young though. The diamond still shine in a rough hole. What the fuck though? Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, where the ones go? It's a shit show. Put you front row. Talking shit, bro. Let your tongue show. Money over bitches and above hoes. That is still my favorite love quote. Put the gun aside. What the fuck for? I sleep with the gun. And she don't snow. What the fuck, yo? Where the love go? Trade the ski mask. Put a muzzle. It's a bloodbath. Where the suns go? It's a Swiss beat. That the drums go. If she's iffy, that the drugs go. If she's simply double cup toast. I got a duffel full of hundos. That the love go. Where's the uproar? What the fuck though? Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Wow, get the fuck though. I don't bluff, bro. Aiming at your head like a buffalo. What the fuck though? Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Wow, get the fuck though. I don't bluff, bro. Aiming at your head like a buffalo. Get the fuck though. I don't bluff, bro. I come out the scuffle without a scuffle. Puff, puff, bro. I don't huff though. Yellow diamonds up close, catch a sunstroke. At your front door with a gun store. Knock, knock, who's there's how it won't go. Just the jungle, so have the utmost for the nutsos. And we nuts so. What the fuck, bro? Where I'm from, bro? We grow up fast, we roll up slow. We throw up gang signs, she throw up dope. Dreadlock, hang time like you don't know. Put the green in the bag like a lawnmower. Hair trigger, pull back like a cornrow. Extra clip in the stash like a